Ladies and gentlemen, East River G3, how's it going? Today we're talking about Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, I'm going to talk about it. I didn't think I was going to do video. I got too much to say. I'm going to try to keep this quick. If you're new here, I go on a long time sometimes. If you don't like that, then you're not going to like this. You can see by the length of the video, I'll probably talk a long time. If you do, stick in. Get your coffee and whatever the fuck you need. Alright, also, I'll swear a lot. You got to watch out for that. So anyways, Cyberpunk, we know it came out, obviously, and it's a disaster. Plain and simple. CD Projekt Red lied to consumers. Okay. I don't want to be that guy that said I told you so, because I don't like that kind of thing, and I didn't know for sure. I had a suspicion. I had mentioned on stream several times when I was streaming on Twitch that I just felt something was weird about the game, and not in a way. A lot of people, the mindset was like, it's not going to be as good as you think it is because we're all hyping it up, but it's still probably going to be pretty damn good. That wasn't the mindset I had. That's like obvious. I felt like that was something that didn't even need to be said. That was just an inherently thing that was going to happen. My weirdness was like the delaying of the game many times. And a lot of people threw around, like, the Miyamoto quote, or like, delaying the game is only going to make it better and to not rush it. But it's like it was delayed such an extremely a long amount of time. And the weirdest one to me was how it was delayed after it went gold. I'm like, okay, then the game didn't go gold then. So they're lying. It's something like managerial is really weird. Something weird is going on there. So yeah, so the game's an absolute fucking disaster. They straight up lied to consumers. They did not allow any reviewers to show footage. They had to use like pre-rendered footage that CD Projekt Red gave them so that everybody would see this and it would be the best version of the game. The game then gets 9s and 10s on, game journalist websites and things, and then people go out and buy the game, and it's virtually unplayable on certain systems. PS4, base PS4 and Xbox One. Some people said it's almost totally unplayable. That is not playable. That is not acceptable. That's not a product that consumers should see. That's like pre-alpha level stuff. That's not playable. The like Pro I don't know why. I don't need to explain it. It's like pretty much horrific across the board. Even on the Series X and the PS5, like it's better, but I would still say totally unacceptable. Even on PC, where it's clearly the best, still has lots of issues. I mean, you need a very, very, very high-end PC to run it properly. And I've seen, as you probably have, people with computers that are in the top 1 percentile of power that still struggle to run this game. The game is clearly just unoptimized all around, but I think this goes beyond being unoptimized for previous gen consoles, technically. I don't think this was made at all for these consoles, okay? We'll get into a couple of the strange arguments in a bit, but I don't think, honestly, this is just my opinion, I don't think that they made these for those consoles at all. Now that's totally unacceptable because they promoted them for these consoles for years, leading up until it literally came out, and still. But I don't think they made them because this is in such a horrific state. I don't think that they spent any time optimizing this game for those consoles at all. Back when they said that the game was going to come out in like April, and then they delayed it to fix bugs, lots of people speculated that maybe they were spending that time to optimize it for consoles. That's possible. I don't know. But it seems like if that's the case, then they literally started working on the console ports or versions or whatever in April, which is crazy. Obviously at a certain point in the life cycle of this game, they just decided that it was too much tech. It wasn't going to run on these consoles, so they switched to PC and hoping for these next gen consoles for more power. And they just kind of stopped like worrying about it and then focused on building the game on PC, clearly with high end hardware in mind. That's what I think happened. Now, again, like I said, I'm repeating myself. It's not acceptable, but that's what I think happened. Total lie, right? Not even just that, but just like blatant lies, like, oh, it's going to run really well on these consoles. It's going to run really well. The city's very lively and things like total lies all around. Nothing unusual here from big corporation companies and things like that. Obviously, they wanted to get this game out for the holiday season. Okay, yes, shareholders were probably pushing them to release it. They probably said, the developers probably said, hey, we're not ready. We don't want to, this game is not ready. And they probably said, we don't give a fuck. Put the game out because we're going to make some money and we're going to make lots of it, okay? Also, the crunch with their employees, terrible. This company has lost all of my respect. The crunch thing is the biggest. That is horrible. Any company that does that can go fuck itself, okay? Terrible thing to do. Fuck CD Projekt Red. Really, seriously, fuck you, that you're a scumbag company. Any company that does that to their, and if I make one point in this video, this should be the main one. That is a terrible thing to do. If you find yourself in a crunch situation like that, you'll understand if you don't see it as a big problem. There's no coming back from it for them. That was a weird way to phrase that. Okay, this is going on long. I got to keep talking. Yeah, performance is absolutely terrible, like 480p, 720p sometimes, like horrible glitches about. I mean, I'm not going to go over all the glitches because there's plenty of funny videos where you can see all that. Now they're funny, but like sad at the same time. Just absolutely insane. Okay, totally insane. My biggest thing is that I don't think that a lot of this is going to be fixed at all, if not for a very long time. Like a lot of the complaints you hear is this game has like just abysmal performance. It looks bad. It looks like there's Vaseline on my TV, and it's super glitchy. Just that ruins the game. But underneath it all, it's kind of a fun game. It's got a good story and it's a lot of fun. I've seen that, and again, I don't have the game, so I'm not saying those people are wrong. Okay, I'm totally not saying that. I'm just saying based on the many hours of gameplay footage I've watched, and from many discussions from people that own the game, there are fundamental things wrong with this game, that are just not really acceptable. Like AI is a big one that is talked about. AI is pretty much non-existent in this game. In fact, I don't think there is AI for NPCs and things like that. NPCs are scripted. Police are scripted. Cars are scripted. They don't have any sort of AI to react to you. This living, breathing city that we wanted to see of Night City, that doesn't really exist because they're just scripted. Like when people are walking and you shoot your gun or you bump into somebody, they all freak out and jump down and cower in the same animation and then pretty much stay there until you leave. In sync, right? Like what? Like that looks like a placeholder thing. When people are driving in their car, they have no AI, so they have no pathfinding. If you block the road with your car, you'll create a line of cars, and then they'll disappear eventually if you leave, or they'll all change to a different car, or you'll see the car with two of the exact same people in it, and then the person will disappear, and then the car will just like a mess. Police, we've seen it, and it's hilariously terrible, but the police just spawn out of thin air. If you shoot somebody or you bump, it doesn't matter where you are. You could be on the top of a building. I saw somebody parkour their way up to the top of a building and shoot somebody 150 feet below. Boom, cops literally you can see them materializing. And then if you run away, you're good because they can't really follow you because they don't have pathfinding. They can't get in cars and chase you or anything like that. That stuff doesn't exist. That is bad. That tells me either one of two things. One, they just didn't implement that yet, which means like we're pretty early in development of this game, which seeming to be true, which makes you wonder what the fuck have they been doing for 8 years, and two, they're just terrible developers. I don't think they're terrible. I mean, how many of the same people worked on this game that worked on Witcher 3? Witcher 3 had its issues for sure. Sorry about that. But I don't think that Witcher 3 is indicative of a company that has no talent. Now, I don't think that probably when it comes to this open world sort of immersiveness sort of thing, they're probably as talented as like Rockstar or something like that, who tend to be kind of the kings at building this sort of immersive aspect, but this is like really fucking bad. So I don't know. I'm not sure on that one. I think honestly, I just think they didn't implement any of that shit because it is so hilariously bare bones. Some of the stuff I've seen, it makes me think like there is no way you could realistically put that in there and think that was acceptable. I mean, there's no way, in my mind. Maybe they are that fucking clueless that you could put the lack of AI rather into this game for the NPCs and the police and that police system and say that's good enough. To me, that just seems like those are placeholder things, and they didn't get a chance to put the other shit in. That is a big one for me. Like that is like this game is not finished and is not ready. That's totally not acceptable. One other little thing to talk about because this is going on long. Sorry. I do see a lot. We've all seen it. A lot of the types of comments of, well, you kind of almost like you deserve this. Like you deserve it because you're playing on older consoles. You're playing on trash. You're playing on a trash PC. Get a better PC. It's like the just get a job kind of argument. You're playing on old consoles. Did you really expect it? Yeah, yes, I did expect it. I would totally expect this to run. Do we, as consumers expected this to be perfect? Did we expect this to run as well as the next gen version, the PC version? No, of course not. But what did you expect? I expected a product that fucking ran. That's what I would expect. I would expect a finished product, one that ran, one that really wasn't that glitchy. I get that open world games are very glitchy and we expect that, but I don't really accept that. That to me that means then you need to work harder to make sure if that tends to be the case. I expect a product that functions. I don't expect it to be perfect. I don't expect there to be no bugs, but I expect it to be functional and to be complete. This game was simply marketed for these consoles. Yeah. There is no next-gen version of this game. The newer consoles are just running this game in backwards compatibility mode. The actual next-gen version of this game will be coming out in March. Probably not now. It's probably going to get delayed, but that's what they said. That's a rude kind of mindset to have, I think. I don't think... If you get... Don't do that. Don't say that stuff. That's rude. I don't get that. Even if it's just the state the games are in is unacceptable. Okay, they shouldn't be taking money for that. One more quick thing. That's just all I have to say on that. That's just weird. Come on. Is CD Projekt Red actually this morning acknowledged things, which is good because I was getting a little worried. Like, yeah, it's a total shit show, but I've seen games with disastrous launches where the devs just don't say anything. It's like you guys. Oh man. They did release a statement apology, basically saying we're sorry that we kind of let things slip. We didn't focus as much as we should have. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what they said. We kind of missed stuff. We didn't really focus on. I guess we should have paid more attention. For the next week, you can refund the game if you want. If your console won't do it, then just contact us. That was for the next week. Dude, no, what? A week? No, but indefinitely. You guys are fucked up bad. You need to let that go indefinitely. And I don't know. A lot of people are now... I really, really hope that this apology doesn't flip people's... instantly repair their perceptions. They apologized. Oh, man, see, I told you. They're going to put the patches out. They're going to do good by us, man. No, they really fucked up terribly, okay? They horribly screwed up. Them apologizing, I really hope majority doesn't just boom, switch everybody's opinion, because these people need to be held with an extremely critical eye for the remainder, really, of their lifetime as a company, unless they can, incredibly turn things around, okay? Which will take years of hard work, which I don't think is going to happen. Them apologizing is not something I'm going to applaud them on. That's something they should have done. They don't get applause from me for that, okay? That's what I would expect them to do. I don't expect them to tell the truth. I don't expect them to be transparent and say, we lied to you intentionally because we wanted to make money. I would respect a company if they said that to me, but that's not what they said. They said, we let some things slip. No, you didn't. You knew that this shit was terrible. You let it go out anyways. So I responded to them. I basically said the same thing I'm saying here. You're still lying to us. And I said, I don't expect you to tell the truth here because you're not looking for bad PR, but if you want to regain any sort of trust that you've had with your consumers in the past, transparency needs to be one of the biggest things, probably the biggest, and then actually doing things, showing action in the future is what's going to do it. I think that they can repair things. I think it's possible. It's not gonna. They said they're gonna put 2 patches out in January and February and keep working. I think it's gonna take a year for this to get even to a mildly playable state. That's my opinion. Could be wrong. But they've totally soured. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm done with them. Like fuck them. They, if they can repair things to a point where you are think you're okay, that's fine. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. That's you. For me, fuck these people. They've screwed up. They screwed the pooch. Right? Really? It's really incalculable what they have done. Okay, so that's all. Sorry, it was very long, but that's what I had to say. That's all I'm going to say about this game, Cyberpunk. I'm probably never going to play it. Who knows? Maybe if I find it in a fucking bargain bin somewhere. But I really don't want to support this company, so maybe not, Who knows? Yeah, everybody, I hope this was enjoyable. Let me know. Maybe you didn't like it. Whatever, it's fine too. Have a great day. Game on. Peace out.